Thank you, Maiko. At the Gateway School District Boardroom, 6 p.m. It is now 6:05. Could you please stand for Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everybody should have an agenda in front of them. We do have a sign-in sheet. We'll pass that around for anyone who wants to sign in at this time. The agenda for tonight covers essentially the review of the current projects taking place currently at Gateway School District. We'll also be highlighting the upcoming projects that we've talked about have been approved for the summer as well, and some additional scope and sequence of work. So with that, letter A, Gateway Middle School, video and pictures. Just for the viewing public, we took a tour of the renovated facility at this point. With us was the architect and construction manager from Foreman Construction. Maiko, I do believe that you have some videos or pictures that perhaps you could pop up there. Maiko, are you able to talk and describe the areas that you're highlighting?
Yes, sorry.
Thank you. You want to
Give me
start?
a second. So I think these might be out of order from how I took them. So I'll just describe them as they come up. So this is the rear of the middle school. What you're looking at, I believe, was the old cafeteria.
Thank you, John.
This is looking at the music rooms on the corner behind the auditorium. This is over on the gym side. This is the new gymnasium. Then we're getting into the building. This is, I believe, what will be the cafeteria. Another shot.
Yes, I did. I said.
That was the tour going into the building. The next few shots are actually all electrical, so I'm gonna scroll past them quickly. This is all old wiring that's going to get removed.
Is there a basement as long as the school?
There actually is a, what would you call that, Bob?
That's the old boiler room,
Boiler room?
and
Yeah.
incinerator, and electric vault.
Yeah, that's where our main data closet's going, so I was taking several pictures of that area.
So we don't have a basement. is there?
No basement.
So this is one of the hallways. An example classroom.
Maiko, did you get any shots of classrooms that have the lights in them?
I did not. I believe most of those were in this hallway, so I couldn't access them. I might have one where you can see it a little bit, though. So, actually going back, this is where I believe they're starting terrazzo.
So I was just gonna ask.
Tomorrow.
Sorry, these are not in any kind of order, so it's hard to say what's coming up. So this is the other end of that terrazzo hallway.
If you could stop right there, Maiko, you actually see the ceiling tile grid, and they are prepping the floors currently for the terrazzo.
Are the walls done?
Yes,
There?
they're all
Okay.
painted, ready for lockers.
They're white?
Well, it depends on where you're at. There's
Okay.
multiple colors.
I just,
There's whites and a couple different grays,
okay.
or an off-white, but
Now, where will the lockers be?
on the walls.
On those
Going up and
walls?
down the hallway,
That-
just,
there-
there,
okay.
but there's additional. There'll
Okay.
be some in that hallway when there never was before.
You
Okay,
can see the areas kind of cut out where
That's
the block looked
gray.
like it's
Yeah.
gray.
okay.
So these are some of the new classroom wings.
A little bit. Thanks,
What windows did they put in?
All those
I
that,
know, what was the make of them?
we just had this discussion.
I'm sorry.
Can't recall.
Okay.
Delray.
The new windows?
They'll raise the
Vendor,
the vendor.
yeah.
Did you get a picture of that fifth grade or sixth grade corridor, Micah, with the drywall installed and painted?
I believe so. In a minute.
With the fancy ceiling?
Right there.
Oh, stop, back down. Keep going,
Right there.
right there. Give you an idea of that, one of the hallways, the fingers going out to Route 48.
Now, that was a common area, wasn't it?
Correct, but you see the doorways that take you into the individual classrooms.
Or that grade level? Are those two rooms where each door is, or that's one?
Yes.
2 rooms.
So are you having intercoms like ceiling, from the ceiling?
So when you say intercoms, are you talking about the paging system?
Yes,
So in each room, there's going to be 4 speakers that are all tied together that will act as the intercom. It will also act as the audio reinforcement for the teacher in the classroom, so their voice will also come out of those same speakers.
okay. So Micah, we had discussed with what we have now, in case they need to do an all-call. Well, is that going to be similar to what we have now?
Yeah, so like the other buildings, there's going to be a special code that you can dial that will cause the system to go into all call mode, and it will page all the classrooms simultaneously.
Bless you, yeah,
Okay.
only twice. Yeah, usually it's 3 or more.
Can, go back down again, Micah, there was the outside of the media center. Essentially an extension of where the library formerly existed.
So the one with the green roof is media center?
Correct.
And I do have the reverse shot of that, I believe, up here. So this is looking out to that same courtyard from inside.
What's the other place? The LGI, what was across from the LGI? that's
Right
gonna be
across
all-
from the media center, across that hallway would be the LGI.
Do you have a picture of that? Did you get a picture of that hallway? Like, because that's going to be all glass, right? Which is gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I saw that. I didn't see that picture, Micah. Maybe,
I don't have the picture of the hallway, so this is looking into the LGI.
you're
so-
actually in the hallway. though.
Yeah, you're
Correct.
actually, yeah, so that's going to be all glass, right?
And then I have the other side. This is actually inside the studio, looking out, which will look into the hallway. And this is standing in the hallway again, looking into where the studio room's gonna be.
So is that where the kids that are doing the mall side middle morning show, they're gonna be housed in there? Okay. I'm gonna try to get up Friday. Keep putting it off.
Don't do it.
Is there any other areas that you would like to see since they're out of order? It's hard to,
No, I
a
think
narrative.
that's it. To get an idea, from where the terrazzo is being laid at this point, That's in the far rear of the building, so they would be working their way up towards the front where the offices used to be. So once the terrazzo is poured, Bob, you could chime in, ceiling tile, classrooms, essentially it's finished.
Yes, soon as the terrazzo's done there, they'll lay the vinyl, the VCT flooring in the classrooms, and then those areas will be finished, touch-up paint, and those areas will be done. And they'll work their way up that eastern hallway, which is the 48 side. They're gonna work their way right down there and then around and up the hall towards the media center.
So the classrooms, what kind of flooring, were they going to have vinyl?
Vinyl flooring is the classroom.
In the classroom, hallways,
Terrazzo.
all terrazzo, bathrooms, terrazzo. Okay, thank you, Micah.
How many bathrooms are through the building for students? I know, weird question.
How many bathrooms, like
For the
students?
students.
I think there's 4 or 5 main
Separate bathrooms.
big bathrooms
Yeah.
for students and guests, whatever. And then we have somewhere around 10 individual single-seat bathrooms spread out through the whole building for faculty, family bathrooms, whatever you know. There's still another one near the auditorium that hasn't been done yet. So we spread them out so a teacher in need doesn't have to go to the other end of the building. We tried, if you look at each wing, there's 2 single-seaters at each wing. You know, so there's 8 right there, plus a few others in some specific areas that, like the auditorium where you could have a need.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Okay, moving right along, north entrance, we have some work that has recently picked up. I noticed there was some pouring of concrete
Yes.
yesterday or today.
And I sent you a few
Yep.
photos. They
I sent them to
poured the
Micah.
handicap.
Micah, can you pull those up and maybe Bob can describe what's happening outside of what currently is the technology education area? And for the viewing public,
There you go.
this entrance is being added to the rear of the building, essentially replacing the loading dock area where people have for years made their way as the #1 entrance into the high school.
Yep, so what they've done, today they finished pouring the handicap ramps. They have one more pour, which is gonna happen by Friday. And all the concrete work will be complete. The railings are getting measured next week. Those take approximately 4 weeks. So the railing will be installed and the whole roof structure immediately after, kind of at the same time. So that'll be complete in approximately 30 days. The door is ready to go in. Bricklayer has to lay brick up on the left-hand side of the door. And that'll all be ready to open.
You get the next picture, Micah, with that?
So you're looking completed date to be April?
Yeah, that's, beginning, by the beginning of April. The concrete we really caught a break with the weather. Trying to pour concrete outside in February is not the easiest thing to do. Micah, wasn't there one more?
I think there was one more. Oh, there we go.
That was Micah's, but. Yeah, they poured the steps today, so where those gentlemen are working and at the far end, that'll finish the concrete work.
Micah, can you go back to the one before that, please? With a standstill one?
That's pretty cool. I think the time lapsed.
Yeah.
Just showing the ramp. Okay, where the ramp is going, there's that big drop off. Is there anything, is that where the railing's gonna go?
Yeah, the
Okay.
railing will go
All
there,
right.
it'll go on the front of the dock, it'll.
And then what are you
all of
filling
it.
in where all that dirt is?
Concrete.
Okay.
We couldn't pour the ramp and that
Until
at the
that-
same
right.
time, you have to strip the forms first.
Okay. Thank you. How many parking spaces are going to be taken away?
We didn't take any.
Okay.
They were, the dust collector, the old
Well,
dust
I
collector
know
was
some of the
there.
staff park.
They park there, they're not
Correct.
spaces.
Okay, that's what I just wondered.
They must have done really nice.
Is there gonna be an upgraded camera in that now, in that?
I think they already did those, or just did them,
Oh,
like in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
for that entrance.
Well, the whole area back there.
That brick is new underneath,
So,
stone or brick.
It's actually a brick pattern.
Is that what it is?
It's solid concrete, similar to the wall we built at the auditorium. So it has a brick pattern. Because there's like 6 different brick types in that whole area. Over the years, they've done a lot of additions. You'll see different brickwork.
So the access to the building, how different it will be?
When you come in that door, it brings you right to the LGI.
Okay,
So it's actually straight down that large hallway.
okay. Thank you.
And there'll be swipe access on those doors as well, teacher entrance, after our entrance.
Okay, Mr. Ritter, you mind hitting the lights? Sure. When do you anticipate? Yeah, when do you anticipate that being done, Bob? And is there a push button?
We're looking,
Handicap push button?
it's not handicap push button.
No.
No. It is swipe access. You know, your swipe card access for our employees to get in.
Are we using that entrance like for meetings and that?
Yes.
Okay, so if we have,
If someone's in a wheelchair.
if we have somebody coming in for a meeting that doesn't have a swipe,
Well, meetings, it's gonna be open, the door's gonna be unlocked at that point. But during the day, school day, teachers will park there because it's a little far right now
Right.
from where they enter. Now, they'll park there and be able to enter there with their swipe.
okay.
Yeah, at least-
Scott, you have a question?
Scotty, do you have a question?
No, I'm good right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Someone would have to be there to
It's the
open the door
same thing.
for same.
well, unless the person has a swipe. But, yeah, I know what you're saying, absolutely.
gotta open the door.
It was
We-
designed for
yeah.
handicap, they still need someone to open the door for
Get them
them.
there, not to open the door.
What would it take to have that?
I'd have to actually see,
Because if you have it for handicap access,
but during the day, it's not gonna operate
okay, but
because
we,
we're secure. It's
right,
not to have
but we're doing,
The swipe on the outside would open the door.
Oh, it was automatically
So they
open,
go off the
okay.
ramp,
access to that building, is that what you're worried about?
Okay.
no, but what I'm saying is, Scotty has a hard time opening.
I don't think it's an automatic door.
That's what we're talking about, so the door pulls out, how are you?
Oh, so if he has a swipe,
It just unlocks the door.
So it still needs
Does
somebody
not
that,
open the door.
So somebody would have to.
Does the door pull out or push in?
Because we have to
That
have,
door,
when we have anything, Scotty,
that
when,
door opens out.
Scotty,
No, it shouldn't. It's a code, it's a fire
Yep.
hazard. It
Scotty,
has to
when you
open.
come into the buildings, like over by the
It has to open
LGI,
Yeah.
you have to have staff or somebody open the door for you, correct?
That is correct.
They have to call ahead and say, you call ahead and say, I'm on my way or something, so we're using our staff to let you into the building that you can't get in by yourself, correct?
That is correct. We actually had openers at one time, and the kids would kick the doors and break the openers.
Okay,
But, yeah, he didn't have even swipe access before to get around there because we locked it all down
right.
for after hours.
But I'm just saying, it's still, we still
we almost need.
are not fulfilling the actual needs for handicapped.
the man trap.
We're
mouse trap
not
area.
required to do that. That is, like I said before, if you had that, somebody comes there during the day, they're not getting in.
Well, that's,
You know, I
right.
mean, there's,
not the
we
main
have
entrance.
a lot of different scenarios that we have to consider,
Like security.
mostly security. You know, and in order for that to work, that door has to be unlocked.
Right. But if we're having meetings up there and people are using that entrance, it's gonna have to be unlocked, correct?
Absolutely,
Well,
unless
that's-
you're gonna have a security guard
Well,
stand there.
that's why I'm saying. George?
Yeah, question for you, Bob.
Just access the
Like,
building.
would you have a push thing and then right beside it?
Would say, okay,
Swipe and then you'll go automatic open up. He doesn't have to go through.
Yeah,
And again,
6
And
to
nobody can use
9.
it unless they swipe or
allowing
come
people
up.
to enter. I guess we do anyway.
You're saying that it's gonna open automatically. You just, right.
It's saying, oh, right.
Yeah, we'd have to look at that. I mean, could it be done? Sure, it could be done. That's something, whether or not it's wanted to be done. But yes, we can do that.
You know, you're tying all this money up, another $1,000, $2,000, I don't see.
Oh, you're probably a little closer to 9 to 10.
Okay, but you also put $1 million floor in that building, which I thought was asinine, but that's my opinion. Doesn't make sense, $1 million floor.
Yeah, we can certainly see if that's what the board wants me to do. It's not an
I'm not
issue.
saying you,
Well, I have to generate
you know, you
that.
don't have anything to do with it, but I'm saying.
I mean, I'm sure we did. Get
I know, I'm sure, but
Oh, no, I mean, just opening the valve, speaking of,
Okay.
I'll look into it and I'll see. But it can be done. It's not like, oh, no, we can't do
There's a
that
timer
now.
where the door with the push button can be accessed for
Yeah, it keeps
an
it
hour and a
for
half
so many-
for meeting time. So anybody in a wheelchair or handicap can press the button, doors open, access in.
And then if they have a swipe, it automatically
Yeah, I
unlocks
thought
the
you'd have
push.
both.
That, yeah, the swipe works like a key. It just unlocks the door.
Well, I'm talking the push
The
button.
push button operates the door, so it was two separate items that could be on the same door, and I'll look into it and bring it back to you. Because you actually need
Mike, you want to throw up the fields real quick? Thank you, Bob. We'll get back to the board.
Yeah, sure.
How's the shoulder?
Baseball and softball fields have progressed. We're hoping with this recent surge in great weather, they will resume
Ooh, look at that.
that.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
old picture.
That's what it'll look like.
No, that's what it does look like.
That's
The car, the cars is
Susan, that looks like a painting, doesn't it?
it's Micah's drone. The extension of
What are all the
Micah.
marks on the turf?
Isn't that incredible?
Just the tractor going by and
Yeah.
putting the rubber into the turf, that's all.
If you could stop it right there, Micah, now the auxiliary field at the top of the baseball and softball fields, that needs to be completed. However, both baseball and softball will be ready for spring practice, as you can tell.
Nice.
The outfield wall is up. That's something that you do not see in the drone video there. But we also have areas of the exterior of the fields. I don't know, Dawn, you want to take it from here just to describe what we're requesting at this point?
Well, we're looking at a situation where everything that you see on this side will be turf. There'll be a walking pathway that comes in between the outfield fences, a walking track around the auxiliary field, nets on either end so we can play sports and not lose balls onto where we don't want them to go. That's all turf. Everything you see is turfed right up to the sidewalk lines and the curb lines here, all along here. The question that came up as we sort of wrapped up the project would be these areas here, behind the bleachers, behind the dugout, where the batting cages are, which is outlined here by these post holes, near the concession stand. This general area here, plus a little bit more over here, not the hill part, but right up against the sidewalk, is going to be natural grass. And it just doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense to leave that unturfed in some form or fashion because of the fact that you'll have mud, potentially, dandelions.
Lawnmowers, getting
lawnmower
up in
issues.
there.
Why would we want to, have to bring somebody up to just try to hodgepodge this Tetris piece to cut?
What's the price? I didn't see it.
So what we're looking at is, the regular turf that's on the field that's playable is a highly developed turf with the infill and, all the G-Max qualities, all those sorts of things. Shaw makes something called landscape turf that you could put in your backyard if you didn't want to mow it. People put it around their pool. People put it around walkways that maybe are in an area that's hard to get to with a mower. It's a viable product that will match in color from the same company that did the turf, but would be in those places there. So it's significantly cheaper. You wouldn't be playing any sports on it. It would just particularly be for aesthetics and for, walking on it. But to eliminate the need to do anything with maintenance other than, regular field maintenance with turf, that would relate to regular grass maintenance, which is a pretty significant change. It really would finish in exactly the way we want it to look, I believe. And
Part of the issue that we have in the springtime, and we've had discussions about this with the board, the grass cutting services that we've had, at times during spring, you may have to cut twice, maybe 3 times a week to get it to look what we want it to look like. Doing this eliminates any need for any type of tractor getting into that area, which could damage the fields, but also eliminates aesthetically a look that I think would cause some issues once we're up there and games are being played.
What is the savings of not cutting this area? Do we have any idea?
We do, I don't have it top of my head, but we've gotten.
So Ritter, if you could hit the light real quick, I have the information from Shaw in front of you with the cost of that area for the turf.
We have to look at this also behind the auxiliary.
This would cover everything, every nook and cranny
Like, I know, because
inside the fence,
the auxiliary field is getting
full turf.
the full
Yeah.
good turf.
Yes.
Would we have to worry about this behind that auxiliary field?
no,
No.
that field goes all the way to the fence.
It goes all the way to the fence.
Correct.
The places I pointed at behind the first base dugouts and a little bit of the baseball third base dugout are the entire scope of this proposal.
Could you let us know what the savings, what the cost?
Yeah, I have
To mow
to.
that for 8 years versus.
We had a
having-
schedule.
Say, how much savings is it gonna be for the price?
Yes, we put a schedule together when those projects were going and we took away this field so we get X amount off. So I have to
One thing you'll
look at it.
notice also is you will not get the traffic in those areas that we're highlighting to be turfed. And that in itself would expand the length of the turf for 15 years. We wouldn't have to replace those areas.
Well, I was gonna ask about that. Is this area gonna be fenced off? I'm just thinking about people coming up, walking pets and,
You can actually see the fence. The fence is not changing.
okay.
So, Mr.
Is all
Ritter, could
this
you hit the
inside
lights
the
again?
fence?
Behind the refreshment
Where's
stand.
the fence?
We're not
Point that
there,
out,
it's not-
please.
It's all right now mud
Fence.
and grass.
Yeah. Is this new turf gonna be inside or outside the fence?
Yeah.
Inside the fence.
Inside.
The fence is
Yeah.
here.
We want everything essentially inside the fence. Just
Everything
turf.
inside, so you don't wanna take lawnmowers inside the
Right.
fence.
That's part of our
and let
concern.
grass clippings
No
on the
longer
turf.
have a need to bring any mechanical equipment
Correct.
to cut grass or to aerate
It's not
grass
just
or
for
plant
savings,
seed or
though.
anything
Oh,
like
no,
that.
I'm not saying, no, I know that. But
Everything
people
inside
are
the
gonna
fence would
ask,
be
Yeah, what's the
artificial.
cost difference?
Correct.
Turf versus seed and maintenance.
And all the problems we had keeping with the companies,
Right. Yeah,
with the lawnmower
Yes, that
company.
beautiful turf field for baseball, and then the landscape company doesn't come and the grass around it's flat.
Dandelions, weeds.
And then we went
Yeah,
to,
I'm just
Yeah.
asking because
No, it's a good question.
questions.
And we want to attract rental usage out of it as well. So we pay somebody 3 or 4 days a week in the summer.
Yeah.
And then it lasts for 15 years. What's the warranty?
No, it's not.
8.
The warranty's 8, but what they'll tell you is, especially with like an outfield, if you look at baseball,
Down here, the white.
there's three players in the outfield, it's not.
Those just get painted. We painted those.
Okay.
The new ones are soft.
When we've,
They're already up.
All right,
talked with
that's
other
what I thought.
schools,
Just need to roof on them.
this
We don't
is a
get on
pretty
them.
classic example of under promise, over deliver. We fully expect a minimum of 12 years.
Okay.
And maybe even 15 years, given what usage it'll have.
Well, there's no traffic on it.
Does it need a drain system
Things
and all
like,
that too?
things like the pitching rubber in the softball fields or the
That's already
bases
completed.
will
So just
require to be
stone
replaced sometimes if you have a lot of
Yeah.
tournaments and
Weed
whatnot during the
barrier,
summer.
weed
But
barrier, stone
the
base,
turf itself,
and then the
we're
carpet.
expected to
And
last
this is
well
all inclusive
beyond.
of the weed
No,
barrier.
this is just the, carpet.
Where's the scoreboard?
Do we need any excavating to put this carpet in the weed?
Everything's excavated. What we would need to do, and we'd have to, again, work, as he finishes the
The scoreboard.
field up top, have him drop in some stone. There could be an additional cost to that, and then just glue it in
It's kind of hard to see.
for installation.
Not to take our eye off the ball with the turf discussion, but Bob was just talking about our scoreboard for softball here, our scoreboard for baseball here, are now both going to be in each respective field's left field wall. So a little bit farther to the left, not quite to the foul line, but a little farther to the left of this will be our 25-foot long, 7-foot high above our 10-foot wall that you don't see, which is really great looking on the front side. Baseball scoreboard, our softball scoreboard will now be in left field as well. So aesthetically, it'll have some symmetry in both of the scoreboards. Again, if you remember the discussion, that the only facilities in high school athletics or even college athletics where men and women or boys and girls don't use the same facility is typically softball and baseball. You know, our basketball athletes use the same gym, our swimmers swim in the same pool. We run on the same track, we play soccer on the same fields. The only one where you have Title IX issues about doing the same for both is baseball, softball. We have the same scoreboard, it'll be located in the same place. It's gonna be fantastic and symmetrical and gonna be beautiful when those are installed, which is next week. The scoreboards are on site.
Scoreboards are on site and will be installed next week.
We're meeting the installer Tuesday to start putting those in.
No,
Thanks,
we
thank you.
did
That's a good point about Tyler and I.
And for the viewing public, the
approve
scoreboards
locations of those or anything?
No, that's all done. I've
Okay,
already-
that's why I just wanted to make
are
sure,
going over to
even
Gateway
with
Middle
you
School.
moving it.
No.
Okay,
They don't care.
okay,
Yeah,
Just
those,
asking.
because we're not
Is the estimate for the
encroaching on any borders or anything.
For complete installation, meaning what you see in front of you is for the carpet. Now, if Shaw or the group would come in and do it, probably add another $40,000 to $50,000 on top of that for installation. Am I accurate, Bob?
Yeah, it's just,
Which,
we're talking 40 to 50,000 on this 59,000.
that was an estimate given from this company
Okay.
doing it. We feel we wanted to get the product in and then go out to see what we can get for installation.
Is this product behind? How long does it take to get the product in?
What about the product itself?
product itself, he can get us with, like 6 weeks. It's not so hard. Install part is really based more on weather than anything.
Could you possibly get a set price what the installation would be?
Yes. Oh, yeah, we wouldn't,
No, I'm just saying, because,
Yeah.
we're talking, it could be.
and.
What we wanted to get was a firm price on the carpet.
Right.
And with that project still ongoing, if we did those areas prior to completing everything up there, it means we have to redo permits. We wait till they finish that and we don't need to do anything.
Say that again?
The,
Terminal.
the
which makes
county and the
sense because you're adding
NDPS was
on
all
to the
based
project.
on the phys ed fields, softball and baseball fields. If we interrupt that now and do it, we have to modify that permit. If it's finished, they sign off on it, we don't need to do anything. We don't need to add, no.
Because there's no drainage.
Because we don't need to do that.
I would think the reverse, I would think we have to do it now before.
Dealing with the county is special all by itself.
It is very, like, stop eating the face.
It's sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's why I said, you said that again, I thought I heard you.
Yeah, no, but that is,
Okay, we'll do it
it
after.
opens a can of worms when you're partway through the project and then
You wanna
we
change
do
it.
that. But the drainage and everything's already
Yeah.
there.
And in layman's terms, once it's done, there's no more construction issues, now it's aesthetics. It's like painting or
Yeah, it's all cosmetic at that point.
You know, adding things
It's like
like that.
landscaping, it's like adding a roof.
Exactly.
$1,000 extra did come from Shaw.
because it's
And we weren't
landscape.
even comfortable with it. We just said give us a price.
No different drainage required, no different sub-base required, it's just.
There's
dirt.
nothing sub-ground that needs to be done with those areas. It's simply weed barrier, stone, carpet.
Remove topsoil and then minimal. And they kind of priced it out
Yeah, they,
way overkill. I mean, the way we laid it out, and we did it purposely to prevent even our own people from driving trucks over there.
Wow, that's good enough.
Yeah, we made the opening smaller that they can't get through other than their carts.
and that's what was happening with the old fields where you'd see a pickup just driving right across.
Yeah,
And we'd be like,
yeah, so we prevented that with design.
We have, like I said, a room for carts, gates in both outfields. There's no issues in terms of emergency access, but it eliminates access that you don't want for vehicles on the turf.
so all we did was get a quote on the actual carpet itself. And we're gonna hold at this point, and when we get some different numbers for installation, we'll come back to the board.
What is,
Susan looks like she's getting ready to, I know. Good.
I forget.
Okay, discussion on change order for the grass, we did that. Reverse side of the Champion Wall fence. If you notice on Route 48, as you're viewing the Champion Wall, we're going to examine some different products that can kind of cover the back of the fenced area, because right now it's kind of like an eyesore, but there is a chance that maybe we get a vinyl sign that goes right around it that could do some advertising.
oh, yeah, we can get some sponsors, we can
Yes,
put their
right
vinyl
across it.
signs on there.
Mhm.
That Forbes can make for us.
So we'll come back to you once we have some ideas with cost. Fence and gate entrance, Bob, you want to just,
Yeah, I was unable to get the drawing from him
Okay.
before I left home. The area at the end of the phys ed field, which is from the parking lot behind the sports complex.
Maiko, if you could run the video again so that we could see the rear of the sports complex so we can visualize where this will be.
You might have to repeat that. Try to help me get Jack on.
Yeah, Mike, can you show the parking lot and the phys ed field? That area.
Yeah.
What we're anticipating with a lot of tournaments and our own folks is to replace that chain link fence, put in an actual entrance, that we're working on different designs at this point.
The stadium down below.
So there's a
You just got
nice looking entrance and a nice fence to keep them out. In the time frames where we have to charge, we have a stopping point to bring it through.
Yeah.
Now, like pillars and wrought iron.
Pillars and a wrought iron gate, something that
It
actually.
says this is the entrance to the complex, and again, gives us, as Bob just mentioned, a choke point for ticket taking. If we don't charge currently for our own baseball and softball, but when we host events, we we would, WIPI or PIAA events would.
Very similar to Anna Marino Stadium, once you go from the parking lot into the
Just
entrance area of the stadium.
downsized to fit and look correct in that area.
So we will have a visual, a picture of that,
Yeah,
and
he's
also
working
an
on some
estimate
designs.
that we would bring to the board as well.
Where, will there also be a man gate next to the big cast iron gate? For gym classes to come out and use the PE field?
They'd come through that same gate, Scotty. It's way down. It's not where it is now. It has to be moved down. So they would just come through that gate, just like any other gate. It'll line up with the end of the walkway, the gate.
Yes.
So to put it's not going to be a 15-foot wide gate. It's going to be a gate that if we need to bring anything in there, wide enough for ambulances, things like that, but nothing bigger. But we don't need a single man gate. That would be it.
Are we still in talks with Forbes or UPMC about naming rights for the fields?
Not UPMC. They will not enter into any conversation. Allegheny Health Network, there's a potential there, but understand that this board made a decision to go to East Suburban Sports Medicine a couple of years ago for their trainer services. So it's something that, we may have to have discussions about soon.
Well, that's something.
Just to be clear, Dr. Short, excuse me, just to be clear, Dr. Short, you used the phrase "this board." I understand what you mean, but it wasn't this board who made
Correct.
that decision.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Yes, previous board. Thank you, Mr. Bova.
Is he suburban? Isn't it anything?
They're independent.
We should talk about this.
Mhm.
No, I just want
Can we have the lights, Mr. Ritter? And then my pictures. Okay, real quick, marching band practice area.
Right now, we're finalizing initially what we did was we incorporated an area of the band practice area to bring down the spoils dirt from above so we didn't have to pay to haul it away, in which will raise that area some. We're finalizing the retention pond permits with, actually Monroeville, we gave them their answers, what they wanted, and the county, it's going to them within a week that they will finalize that with the stormwater retention there. What we'd like to do is, as we do the fields at the middle school, the spoils dirt will also come there. Again, not to have to pay to haul it away and raise that field. So that's well underway. Again, once the weather changes, then we're able to do some work out there with what is now mud.
It is mud.
It is mud.
It's mud.
There's a lot of mud. Okay, Forbes Hospital, Route 48 entrance. Seems like we've been talking about this for 8 years, 10 years. Recently had an update that involved PennDOT and Forbes Hospital, Allegheny Health Network. They are back to doing another traffic study, examining how many cars go through that area. The reason why this was requested was due to the recent expansion of Starbucks, thank you, that's where I was going. And the traffic going on to Haymaker and down 48. So they are once again counting cars, so to speak. So there is no update, no plan to move forward at this point. They will be in touch with us soon.
You are just not getting a roundabout. Forget about it.
I don't want the roundabout.
Whatever.
They want the roundabout.
We're keeping the handle.
Yeah. Yeah,
I still see people regularly go the wrong way and the one way.
I do too, yeah. Okay, spring, summer, capital improvement project list. Bob, you want to go through these real quick?
Sure.
Just to give everyone an idea of what's upcoming, what's on the agenda for summer 23.
Yep, we have the paving at Ramsey and University Park, which has already been approved. When they open the plants in April, we need 2 days at each one to do it. So if we can fit it in within the school year, if we have the days off that we can actually do the work, we'll do it then. If not, as soon as school is out. Just, we don't have a lot of free days in the middle, but they're ready to go with both of those projects. The air conditioning at Evergreen and University Park, at this point, everything is in line to start both projects the day after school is out. So we have 2 different crews working at both buildings. It's going to take the majority of the summer to get through those buildings to do these projects. But they're set to start the day after school's out.
It's our maintenance crews that are doing that.
The media center, that was something that was new to me, that they're looking to redo the television studio in the library fiction nook area. I have to get with Mr. Stevens and look at what they're proposing. I have not seen that yet, but we have an area that we can easily do it, and then it would be under the watchful eye of the librarian.
Yes, we had a meeting. Micah, are you on?
I am, yes.
2 weeks ago, we had a number of individuals who have been involved with television studio in the past. We had Micah there, who also provided some information about the equipment that is in the former television studio. So we're going to come with a proposal that would be in the budget for next school year with equipment. We've talked about the students here at Mosside Middle School, how involved they are with the morning production, utilizing the Pennsylvania room, and we thought it would be a quick carryover into next year.
Yeah, this is not really.
I do want to highlight real quick, I thank you, Robin, I did miss number 5, campus signage. If you notice some of our what are those cloth signs, welcome to Gateway?
No, on our poles.
Pole signs. They're a little worn.
They
faded.
Wind beats them.
Wind beating them up. We're gonna get a cost on replacing those with a solid aluminum sign that goes on the pole. And then the marquee, we're on hold right now because of, we're awaiting PennDOT and what they're initially going to do or try to do with the
Put that in the 19th, they're in the 2034 budget.
2034 budget.
It's a long ways off.
PennDOT.
Bob, anything else? Elevator and windows?
Elevator and windows, we did get costs and bids for the windows. There was a number of different pricings that we could do. So that, along with the elevator, we had the architect take another look at it and get us current numbers, because our numbers were about 4 years old, maybe even longer. So if you look at what Dr. Short just handed out, I would recommend number 4. But there'd be some back and forth
You
questions.
have to pick the most expensive one.
That's not the most expensive, that's the second from the
I'm
lowest.
sorry, I didn't have my glasses on. I thought it was. I thought there was an extra 0.
No, that is actually,
Yeah, don't pick number 2.
no,
And that's what I went straight
Okay,
to.
sorry.
yeah, these windows are, I mean, it's an issue in other buildings as well. They're heavy. It's hard the way they lay them out, reaching over counters to try to open them. So what this would do would give each room an automatic egress window, which would be similar to a casement on hinges versus a lift up. And then correcting, some of the other balance issues in there. But that, I'm gonna add that into my capital budget, along with the numbers for the elevator. I said they're new numbers, they're up over 5 years about 50%, from 80 to about 120 to do that.
And these items are for the University Park Elementary
That's
School
universal.
build project?
Yes.
I mean, that's.
That I believe Cleveland Stewart windows need a look at as well. So, and then we
Final one
have,
is we got approval for the Ramsey playground fencing.
Yep.
Bob has numbers that he shared, and that's for installation that we had talked about
that
before.
was
Yeah.
supply and install, and I'm gonna work with Mr. Strom from Monroeville, since he handles the parks, to make sure what we do doesn't affect what they do. So we have to work together, and I actually spoke to him the other day, that we would meet together and with the fencing contractor to do that.
I have
Questions or comments?
I know you went out here. I have one question about the windows. I know that the buildings are old. Is there a possibility of some of these windows not being able to be replaced with this, and just because I know some leak, and I don't know exactly which ones. and it's
This
just
would be
due to-
University Park. We don't have those type issues there. The only real issue we have with that is at the high school. Actually, the company that's doing our windows over at the project did those windows originally many years ago.
At UP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's,
Not the I know you were looking at it.
I was like,
no,
wait.
no, not the high school. He did University Park windows years ago.
I can tell a story about
No,
it.
that would not be an issue.
Okay, so at UP, this wouldn't be
It would not be an issue.
right now. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Mr. Brown, may I interrupt for a moment? Can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes.
Since leaks were mentioned, I'm not sure the best way to do this, but it seems that we occasionally have people suggesting that leaks exist that we're not seeing, or we're not addressing quickly enough with the spring coming up. I don't want you to, scour every building looking for a leak, but what I might suggest is somehow we alert the teachers, the staff, once again, forget whether you put a ticket in or not once. Report any leak that we might have missed or forgotten or somehow didn't solve completely. I'd rather be proactive than, get reports that somehow we...
I will send out an email to request them to do that.
Please do.
Yes, I will.
Thank
I will
you.
do that. Our primary leaks on windows is the high school, but there could be something that we're not aware of. So I will send I'll send a blast out to
right, I
all
want
the
to make
staff.
sure everyone's right. I want everyone to be comfortable reporting those, even if they did once before.
Okay.
Maybe we can, get to the source, get it fixed, and be ready for the wet spring.
Is it possible, not to interrupt, I'm sorry, Jack. Is it possible to copy the Building and Grounds Committee to see where the problems are?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That
not
it's
an
coming
issue.
back, it's coming back from staff. Like if they respond to you to this email that, we get back what they're doing. I believe you, I trust you.
Yeah, I can do that. I
I'm
mean,
glad.
it's only adding somebody on the list, that's all.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
I make a motion to quit.
Second.
Thanks, guys.
John.